everybody. This is the Purple Talk Podcast. I'm pretty sure it's episode 10. And today we have Mr. Jovan, right?
Yes,
Jovan,
sir. Yes, sir.
and where are you from, man, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from the Alton Godfrey area, 618 east northeast side of the metropolitan of St. Louis, actually, Illinois side.
St. Louis. Okay, I
Yes,
heard it's a little
sir.
rough up there, man.
Hey, it can get real. It can
Yeah.
get real, definitely.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, so now today's topic is having sickle cell in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm glad you wanted to come on, man, because I haven't spoke to anybody who had sickle cell, back then. So this is a good
Hmm.
way to help the young people with sickle cell also.
Yeah.
So if you could, just go ahead and give a rundown about, a little bit what you've been through, what type of sickle cell you have, and whatever you want the community to know.
Yeah, I'm 45. I'm about to turn actually 46 next month, 29th. I'm a leap year baby, February.
Happy
Um,
birthday.
I'm sickle cell SC. So
Okay.
a lot of people who is informed on sickle cell SC, a lot of us actually have like some eye problems. Like
Mm-hmm.
if some people would notice, like I would squint this eye sometimes because I had to have open eye surgery on my left eye and laser surgery on actually both of my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been having various eye problems. Other than that, I've been dealing with the typical problems of sickle cell throughout my life. I probably recently, probably the last 3, 4 years, I've been having probably three, maybe
Mm-hmm.
four crises a year where I have to go actually in the hospital. But like
Right.
many people, I deal with the day to day, aches and pains and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The older I get, though, me now being in my 40s,
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to be very proactive with my sickle cell and stay very, as we can see, stay very full of
Hydrate.
liquids,
Yes, sir.
hydrated. My fault. Very
Yeah.
hydrated.
Yeah.
Right now, as you can see, it's a little cloudy.
Yeah.
I got my electrolytes mix in it. That's like my go-to. My wife
Okay.
put me onto that, so I'm a big fan of that.
Let me ask you this, if that's okay. Could you walk me through how a crisis will get taken care of back in those days, like when you were growing up compared to how it's done now?
The difference of back when I was a youth and now,
Yes, sir.
oh,
Yeah.
there's actually a big difference because there are very people. The medical industry was very uninformed on sickle cell. So a great example is when I was probably about 5 or 6, I
Hmm.
had a sickle cell crisis in my leg, and they actually put a cast on my leg. They were thinking it was broken, which was
Wow.
mind blowing. I wore a cast on my leg for probably 3, 4 months almost. Yeah, that's the that's the wild thing about having sickle cell at that time. I had a cast on my entire leg,
Wow, bro.
and I think yeah, about 2 months, maybe if two,
Hmm.
1 month. I'm not sure, but I remember as a youth, I had a cast on my leg. I had it cut off, and I remember my leg being a lot smaller, of course, like what you
Yeah.
deal with having a cast on for so long. But now that I gotten older and I understand how uninformed the medical industry was, I look back and it's like, wow,
Right.
like they
That's
actually put a
crazy.
cast on my leg
And they
from a
thought it was
sickle cell
broken?
crisis. Yeah, they thought it was, I don't know what was going on. Me being as a youth, I was kind of really uninformed what's going on. All I
Right.
know that I had a cast on my leg and I walked
Right.
around with a cast on my leg for at least a good 1, 2 months. And
Wow.
I'm thinking my leg was broken, but it was a sickle cell crisis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how old were you?
Like I was about 4 or 5,
4 or
maybe
5?
at the earliest.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
You strong, man, because that's crazy. That's a wild story. So you have SS or SC? Which one? I forgot.
I actually have SC.
SC.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
very active SC though.
What you
You
mean
know,
by
that's
that?
that's 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 the thing about I learned actually when I got older how the SS and SC it can vary.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that can be very active, especially with SC. It could be very active and it cannot be as active. I have a cousin, a first cousin that has SC also. We used
Mm-hmm.
to get flare ups around the same time, but the older we both gotten, we both had eye problems too. That's what happens with sickle cell SC. We have a lot of eye problems, but
Mm-hmm.
hers is not as active as mine.
Mm-hmm.
Mine can be very active where I end up in the hospital about 2 to 3 times a year.
Right.
And
Right.
I used to teach. I'm a teacher. I'm actually a retired teacher. Technically, I've been teaching for about 13 years.
Oh
And I
wow.
taught
Okay.
art and history. And that was one of the major factors when it came to teaching was my sickle cell crisis.
Right.
Um, but they actually worked with me a lot of times because I really cared about the kids and they recognized that, so they really looked out for me. But it was a lot of times where I had to call off, and I was off for about a week, at least
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 times a year, and it was due to my sickle cell. But yeah, we
Right.
we people with sickle cell, we go through a lot of the similar problems, from a vascular necrosis to your typical sickle cell issues.
Yeah.
Like actually, I had an MRI where some people with sickle cell SC, we have what is it a strokes. We have
Okay.
minor. You can have minor strokes. So I seen that even in my MRI that there was minor, like small strokes that I wasn't even aware of. I was
Right.
oblivious to it until I got that MRI and I realized that, oh my God, I had a stroke.
Right.
Like
Yeah. That's
what?
scary.
Like that
Yeah.
to me, I'm thinking that's something that, an older person will go through, but
Mm-hmm.
people underestimate sickle cell SC. There's a
Mm.
lot of other problems that we deal with. Like
Yeah.
I right now, I see double because
Mm.
of my eye surgery. I had open eye surgery, and
Which,
this right eye had
mm,
open eye surgery where and I couldn't even be out of it. They had to keep me awake.
well,
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
and this is what I ask everybody who come on. Can you walk us through what a sickle cell crisis feels like for you?
Oh man, a sickle cell crisis to me, which something I wish everybody can feel.
For 5 seconds. I
For five,
just
yeah,
always say
thank
that.
you. That's what I say. I don't wish nothing bad on anybody,
Right.
but if people could feel what people with sickle cell go through, we would
Man,
have so much,
so
so
it'll
much
be so much.
empathy for us. We'll have
Right.
remedies. We will have
I mean
cures.
everything.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like,
Yep.
can you
Yep.
imagine if everybody got a chance to feel sickle cell for like 3 seconds?
3 seconds. Or the doctor's little sons and nieces and
Thank you.
nephews
They
or
had
something like that.
experience so they would know. Them are usually
Right.
my best people that I deal with in the hospital, from nurses to
Hmm.
hematologists and various different things. The best people are the ones that have family members that went through sickle cell. But
Yeah.
sickle cell, to me, I can relate to like lightning,
Mm,
like it just the cramping of the
mm,
legs.
yeah.
The cramping, the sharp pains. It could be consistent. It could be throbbing.
But you said lightning. How is lightning? You said
Yeah,
lightning.
it's just sharp cramps.
Hmm.
It's striking. It's sharp.
Yeah.
Like the lightning in the sky. It's like really sharp, and it can be soft, like a throbbing, but that's still
Hmm.
a hard soft, right?
Hmm.
But it can be really hard, striking where it makes you like fold up, really, man, like cringe up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
ever been like, punched in your nose before and
Yes.
you get
Yes.
tears instantly in the eyes, like you bump into something in your nose?
Yeah.
And that's how sickle cell is to me sometimes, where it can hit you so hard to where it instantly put tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
because the pain level is that high.
It really
And
is.
that's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand that level of pain. I've
Mhm.
had a situation when I was in the hospital probably 4 years ago. Just a reference, just an FYI. The older you get,
Mhm.
for some people, I ain't saying everything. I'm not trying to be, a negative individual, but the older you get, a lot of times your sickle cell crisis can get stronger, or like
Mm.
in a way worse in certain ways. But that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that you're not going to live a regular life, regular lifespan. But it's just due with age, just
Mhm.
age in general. I
Yeah.
had a crisis that was so bad, like the level of pain was so bad. I had nurses started crying, like they
Mhm.
literally just started crying. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Why are you crying?" She's like, "I've never seen anybody deal with this level of pain before in my life."
It
And
don't
I'm
make any
like,
sense how bad the pain is, man.
"Yeah, it don't. It really don't." And people don't understand. Like, you do the research and you find out, like, statistically, sickle cell is one of the biggest chronic disease pains out of all pains, out of all diseases. Like, sickle
Yeah.
cell is one of the biggest, most catastrophic pains you can deal with, a human can
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah.
So, there was a situation where, like, two of the nurses that was working with me, they started crying because I was like thinking I was about to go home that day. But
Mhm.
I had it just hit me, like I had another crisis that just hit me.
Right.
The pain was just so overwhelming to where I was like, "Yo, you know how they put you on your transition, that be out of the hospital. They say, okay, we're gonna take you off of your PC, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna put you
Transition to
on your
pills.
opioids. I mean,
Yeah.
your pills or whatever.
Mhm.
And after that, then you're out, because we know that whatever you take at home, you can deal with it here.
Mhm.
Well, I was doing just the oral medication, and
Mhm.
when that happened, the nurses is like, "Yo, like what?" And me being a father, I was talking about going home to my kids and going home to my wife. I can't wait. I was happy.
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh man, I can't wait to get home, my wife, my kids, and everything." It was gonna be, man, they miss me. I've been out for a week now,
Mhm.
and I was grateful. And when that happened, that really floored, like, the staff, that really floored the nurses that were working with me, because it was like, "Oh, he's a good guy." That's what they'll say a lot of times when I'm in the hospital, to where I don't want to be that patient that is being demanding, having an attitude, and you need to hurry up. And it's like, these people are caring for you, so that goes a long way when you show some type of
Mhm.
respect, because
D-
these people went to school for this stuff. And
Boy.
but it's hard. It's hard because a lot of us go into the hospital, like myself. We
Yeah.
already have a guard up where it's like, these people don't care. They don't know nothing about sickle cell. Right. But when you come across
It's
those nurses and doctors that understand, it's a different level, right? It hits different. But when you're dealing with the same old situation, a lot of us are always going to have that guard up.
it's it's I don't know, I'm getting emotional, bro. It's like
I
it's
feel you.
different
I feel
speaking
you.
to a man.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have a lot of
yeah.
men in my life. So it's like speaking to a man who's gone through it and is going through it. It's I don't know why it just hit me differently. I've spoken about this so many times, but it's like,
Yeah.
man, like you're like an older figure, like you know what I'm saying. I
Hmm.
see myself.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
you know what we go through, bro, and it's no
Exactly.
games. Like
Exactly.
the doctors be playing around
They
and
do.
oh, you're not in pain, and some of them nurses really do care, bro. Like some of them nurses really do care, and it sucks to see them cry because we
Yeah.
cry, and it's like,
Yeah.
and they can't do nothing because the doctor. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing. I always say thank you to them nurses when I was get a good nurse or a
Me
great
too.
doctor. It goes a long way, bro. It goes a long
Mm.
way.
And I definitely understand where you coming from as a man. I see women cry a lot, right? My wife,
Yeah.
my daughter, my mother, sister,
Mhm.
blah blah blah, right? I see women
Yeah.
cry, because that just comes with the territory. But when I see a man cry, it hits different, you
Different.
know. And that's the thing where like I will be in a hospital where I'm not boohoo crying, right?
Mhm.
It's just the level of pain is that bad. It's just literally put tears in your eyes. Tears just start coming out of my eye. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm crying like that. It's just the pain is that hard where I'm a person like many words, we fight it, right?
Yeah.
Especially a lot of us men who have sickle cell, we're gonna fight it, right? We're not gonna
Mhm.
be, showing emotions and stuff like that. We're gonna fight it and kind of be like,
Right.
I
Right.
go in there when I have a really bad crisis, I'm fighting it, right? I'm
Yeah.
fighting it.
Facts.
But the tears will start coming out.
Yeah. You can't
And
help it.
and
You can't help it.
you can't help it. You're human.
Mhm.
You're human. And
Yeah.
the nurse was like the last time, I think a couple times before late last year, she's like, "Oh, he's crying," and that's different for a man. Like they see a man cry, they be like, "Oh, he's crying."
Mhm.
Like I didn't expect that coming from a
Right.
man, but your level of pain is that bad.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
people who would say, "Oh, you soft or whatever," it's like, nah, family, you just never felt this type of pain
Yeah.
before.
I've been through that too, man. People don't
Yeah,
believe like you
they
ain't no
don't
man. You
believe it.
pussy. Why you crying for? What?
What you crying for, bro? Why you breathing? Why you breathing?
You feel me?
Is that real? Is that
Right.
real? Like
It is.
it's like literally like why you breathing? Like you got feelings, right? So this type of pain is going to fold you up like an envelope, like
That's what
literally,
bro, it literally folds you like
I'm
literally
telling
it
you,
folds you up. It
yeah,
cripples you.
cripples. You're literally crippled just off the
Yeah.
pain alone. It's
Yeah.
that bad, man. Like
Yeah.
and they don't understand that. And they be like, oh, you got sickle cell SCS. Like, yo, man, my SC don't be playing sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
don't play at all. Like, bro, like,
Yeah.
hey, you would think I got SS sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
But,
that's
but
why I
that,
always go back to I wish that anybody who work in the hospital, doctors, anybody could just feel it for 5
mm,
seconds.
like,
5
yeah,
seconds.
like I said, like,
Yeah, man.
I hate saying this, man, but I thought this, like, ever since I got a little older as a young adult,
Mhm.
I said, if sickle cell did not affect only melanated people, specifically black people,
I know.
it would be an entirely different story.
Say it. Yep.
Like,
Totally different.
seriously, man. Like, come
We
on,
probably wouldn't
man.
even be on this podcast,
I'm
man.
telling you, we wouldn't
What?
even be advocating and saying the things we say. It's a reflective situation, like us Black Americans or FBA, or when you want to say it. We deal with racism, but they don't understand racism because a lot of people don't deal with racism. But we deal with racism on top of sickle cell in the hospital.
Boy,
Like
what?
we're dealing with two things that a lot of people
You
don't
you
understand what
you
it's
can't even
like.
like go to the I mean, cause Chubb, you can't even go to the hospital dressed like you are homeless, bro. Because
Bro,
they will be like,
oh
"What you
my
what you
God.
what?" I always tell my mom that she like, just throw
I
that
got
on, throw that on. No.
yo, oh my God. Yo, you spam. You literally took the words out my mouth. My wife
It's
be saying that.
fact.
You ain't gotta put that. Nah, I have to
Nah.
put this on.
Yep.
I
I'm gonna put a
was
little chain
raised a
on
certain
everything.
way, bro.
Yep.
Like my father told me, yo, man, don't you ever put no PJs on and wear them
Mm,
joints out throughout the day. You
mm.
know what I'm saying? Because they already look at you a certain way.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
last thing you got to be doing is dressing over comfortably. Other people can get away with that, but you a black man in America. You can't get away with that. They're already going to look at you a certain way. The moment you walk in the room, they're already going to physically put you at a lower standard before you even spoke a word. That's why a lot of us got to walk in and especially us black men, we got to walk in with a suit, right? We got to walk in
Mm.
and what you said earlier, we got to make sure we're presentable to go into the hospital. That's crazy, right?
That's
When you
beyond
sit
crazy.
back and you really think about it,
It's
that's
crazy.
insane.
It's insane.
that we
Literally.
literally have to make sure we are put together, make sure I
Yeah.
don't look crazy,
Nope.
shade.
Don't bring too
Sometimes I
many
have to clean
bad.
myself up a little bit before I
Yeah.
go to the hospital to make sure I'm presentable and I won't fall into a stereotype
Yeah.
where
I mean,
people will look
I
at me
pull out
like,
my iPhone just so the doctors can see I have an iPhone, bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like I
it's
have
real.
kids, man. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I have a beautiful son. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
have a mom.
respect,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got like,
respect,
bro. It's man. That is
respect.
insane,
It
bro.
is,
Like,
man. Like nobody had. Here's the thing. No, don't know nobody have to go through stuff like that.
no,
There's,
no.
there's no body of people really. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But being a black person, we have to go out of our way to make sure we don't fall into that stereotype. You won't look at us in a certain, physical makeup of what we're presented as. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
here you go.
they're here. Oh, he's a drug
They're
dealer,
here.
or he came in here trying to seek drugs, and
Like drugs.
one of
Yeah.
those. Here comes one of those, and it's like, nah, man.
Nah, fam.
Truth be told, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an educated
Right.
black man, and I don't fall into
Right.
a lot of those statistics. Even if I
Right.
did come from a single parent home, even though I didn't, but even
Right.
if I did, you shouldn't be looking at me like that.
No.
You should look at me as a human being, bro. Like,
First. Yeah. Oh, he
well,
got too many
that's being
bags, so
respectable. It's not like I'm
yeah.
coming in here flipping people off and cussing
Right.
people out and throwing tables. Nah, I'm coming in
Yeah.
here for needs, man. I'm in
Yes.
pain,
Yes.
and that's
And
one of the
respectful
biggest
too.
respectful.
That's why I
I
always
think,
tell the
like you
young
was,
warriors, be respectful, man. No
be
matter what they
respectful,
tell you.
yo,
Cause you
man,
need something from them people.
bro,
You need them pain meds. You need that Dilaudid. You need that
for
whatever
real,
you
for
get.
real, for real. Like,
It's
hey,
let me lead that into this next question.
yes,
When
sir.
you were a youth, right?
Hmm.
Like while you're growing up, was there any racial bias or anything from the medical providers?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Sheesh.
Um, I had a white doctor tell me when I came in, this is beyond his protocol. He was saying stuff like, Mr. Wallace, do you have AIDS? Do you have HIV? And I'm like, what does this have to do with what I'm
What?
coming in here for? I came in here for a sickle cell crisis. Why are you asking me that I have AIDS? Like, do I have HIV? And like, wait a minute, what? And
Wow.
then it'll be like some weird stuff they'll say.
Like
It's like,
what?
yeah, I hear these different things. Like they'll say, are you erect? I'm like, nah, I'm not erect. But there is situations where a lot of some men will have that. I've never heard anybody that goes through that where they
Hmm.
have like a crisis and you know what I mean? And
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I will only hear that from white doctors when I was
Yeah.
growing up.
Wow. That's
Yeah, and
weird.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, why are you telling me that? Like, man, I didn't come in here for any of that. Like, why are you
Right.
even
That'd be the
explain?
first thing I would say if
Like,
I did.
like, what
Like,
are you talking about? Like, what?
yeah.
Come on, man. Are you serious right now? But I would always be looked at a certain. Well, there would be certain things, because I dealt with growing up in the Illinois side of St. Louis.
Mm,
I grew up with dealing with a lot of racism, right?
mm,
Inside and outside the hospital, to where it was just like look at you at a certain way. It was like, oh, as a black man in the hospital, we're not gonna put that level of empathy with him
mm, mm.
because for one, oh, he's a black man. He can
He's
deal
strong.
with it. He's
Yeah.
strong. Just like a lot
Yeah.
of black women have to deal with that same situation where, like they say, oh, she's a black women are strong. They can deal with pain, right? Same thing with black men. So it would take a different level of pain. Sad to say, I will only go to the hospital if I'm in extreme pain.
Right.
It can't be like bad, somewhat bad pain. It got to be extreme.
Can't walk type
Because if I'm
something.
in a like a okay, and I've dealt with this previously, where I'm like, okay, let me nip this at the bud,
Mm,
and I'm gonna go to the ER, and I'm just gonna jump on it early, and they're gonna, take care of me. I'll go in there where I can maintain the pain.
mm-hmm.
They're gonna just look over me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I could be sitting in there for hours, for hours. There's times where I can maintain the pain. Man, I sat in the hospital in the ER for like the longest I've been in the ER for like 6 hours, man.
Mm-hmm.
6 hours. And when I was a child, my mom was like, "Nah, man, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like let them know that you in pain. Like yell out if you have to, because if not, they don't
Mm-hmm.
know nothing about sickle cell, so they just gonna keep putting other people. They're gonna keep, putting other people ahead of you,
Yeah. Yeah.
because, like, sad to
Yeah.
say, once again, a lot of people don't know anything about the levels of pain with sickle cell.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just
Wow.
gonna keep putting people ahead of you, not
Yeah.
realizing that I am having the worst pain
Out of
out
all
of
these
everybody
folks.
in this
Yeah.
room, but I deal with this so much to where
You
I am
see.
almost conditioned to deal with it, to know what I'm going through,
Yes.
till I can maintain it. Because any other person you get this pain to, they're going to be screaming like they're being electrocuted.
Mhm. But you got to be careful with that though. I'm not saying you, but anybody, because
Yeah.
if you say, "Oh, I'm used to it. I'm on my phone. I'm reading a book," you're not in
Yep.
pain.
You're not in pain. Yep.
So it's like a thin line. You gotta, not you. I'm just saying, like in general, like
Yeah.
I be
Yeah. I
telling
definitely
people, man, like,
understand. Yep.
yeah, it's
Uh,
crazy. So you was talking about your mom. Did she have sickle cell, or your dad, or?
My mom and father had a trait, what they say, in order to pass SS or SC down, both your parents got to carry the trait.
Right.
So, my father was the first one that knew he had the trait,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never seen my father cry until I was in a hospital with sickle cell, and that broke my heart, man.
Mm-hmm.
Where he had my mother, have to take me, because my dad felt guilty, because at the time, once again, we're talking about the 80s, early 90s. A lot of people didn't know that both parents had to carry the trait
Mm-hmm.
to have like full blown sickle cell SS or SC.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was thinking that, oh, I carried the trait. It's my fault. It's my fault that my son got to suffer like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad is an athlete. He went to University of Illinois. He's very well known in Alton, Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
as a track star. So he took this heavy, because I'm actually good at sports, but it was due to sickle cell, to where I wasn't able to do the same things, that I have genetics to do. But my father, it ate him alive, bro. Like
I
when
couldn't
he
even
seen me in the
imagine.
hospital, man, he just started crying, and I was just
Crying.
like, man. And he just walked out the room, and I'm like, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
never seen that before, but
He can't
it's
fault
the
himself because he didn't know, back then he probably didn't even know, like,
he didn't
how,
know.
yeah, so yeah,
And
that's
I'm just being real with the platform
mm,
of your podcast, and being transparent,
appreciate
because
that.
people need to hear how real it is, like
Mhm.
I can't imagine, like, for real, man, I can't imagine being a parent with a child with sickle cell, bro. Cause have you ever thought about that?
Yeah,
Like, yo, what if my child got sickle cell? Both my kids are trait carriers.
same, yeah.
It's a
Mhm.
blessing that
Well,
my
what I say all the
wife,
time, it's a blessing,
yo,
bro.
man,
I couldn't live with myself if I found out my son
bro,
had sickle
like,
cell,
come
bro.
on, man.
I know what your father, and I
Come,
don't know what your father
I
went
be
through, but
like,
man.
yo, man, I be just like my dad, man.
Mm-hmm.
I be
Mm-hmm. Just like,
folded up crying, man, feeling bad. Like, I can't believe it. Like, why did I put this type of level of pain on my
Oh, my
child?
son.
You
Whew.
know, you know, and you feel guilty because it's like, am I
Am
responsible for that?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yo, like I
It's deep,
said,
man.
man, like there's pros
Mhm.
and cons to everything,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't have to deal with that, and that's a blessing, you know.
Mhm.
And we're dealing with sickle cell, bro. Like the older you get, the more you appreciate your blessings, man.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm still here. You know, I'm
Yes, you are,
45,
yeah.
about to be 46.
You give me
When I
hope
was,
seeing that.
yeah, when I was young, bro, I didn't know I was gonna live this long. Like my
Mm.
doctors was telling me, you know, it'll be a blessing for you to make it, you know, out of your 20s and blah, blah, blah. And that goes with sickle cell SC because I was going through so much, you know what I mean? Let alone, I can't even imagine sickle cell SS.
Yeah, I got SS, man.
Yeah, so I already know, you know what I mean? I know a
Mhm.
couple cats, several cats who got SS, and y'all be going through it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
and the thing is, there's characteristics to both.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that SS go through, and there's certain things that SC go through. We're
Which is
dealing
different.
with a disease that they still ain't figured out fully yet.
And it's what year?
You know what
It's
I'm
what
saying?
year?
It's 2026. These
Yeah,
people
man.
still ain't figured out the different
Uh,
types of the different things that a person with SC and SC and SS go through.
yeah.
Like,
They don't
I
want to know.
always like. Do you have eye problems?
I just started having eye problems. That's why when you were talking about it, I was so intrigued because, like, oh my
Mm.
God, I
Mm.
have floaters now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this
yeah.
is,
I
yeah,
got floaters. I got cataracts. You
man.
know, going into the doctor's appointments when I was young. You're about how old are you?
I just turned 30.
30. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I started dealing with that at like 30. I mean at 29,
Mm-hmm.
28.
Man.
Yeah, I moved in Houston in 2009, and I
Okay.
remember I had some serious eye problems at like, yeah, about your age.
Mm-hmm.
About 28 though. And I went into the doctor's office, an eye doctor, and I looked around and everybody was older than me. I'm the
Mm-hmm.
youngest person in the room. You know what I'm saying? And these people was like 60, 70, 80 years old. And I went into depression.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, damn, like I got old man eyes. And I'm
Yeah.
not even 30. You know what I'm saying? I got cataracts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
it took me a while, but I was cool with it, you know what I mean? And I dealt with
Yeah.
it. And then being an artist, I'm a visual artist.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. I'm a visual
Yeah. Yeah.
artist. You know what I'm saying? So
But to
I
scare you.
taught children photography. I'm a photographer also. I
Dope.
taught people graphic design to just visual art from painting to sketching and various different things. But
Mm-hmm.
my eye doctor was like, yo, we got to make sure you good because you're an
Right.
artist. You're an artist.
Yeah.
And
See
I
with
got
your
a
eyes
doctor.
first.
Yeah, and I got a doctor down here in Houston. I think it's Dr. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dr. Davis.
Shout out Dr. Davis.
Yeah, and he looked out for me. He saved my eye, you know what I mean? Because it was
That's
like
good.
I got to make sure you can at least see out of that other eye, you know.
Right.
But it's warped. So a lot of
Mm.
people with sickle cell see you might have to have that eye surgery, that open eye surgery, like you're saying earlier, where they
Mm.
couldn't even put me down because if they put you down, you might twitch, you like
Mm.
flinch and stuff, having dreams and various different things. So they got to keep
Oh.
you. They got to keep you conscious.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
got to keep you conscious. So I had to stay conscious. I had clamps on my eye to keep my
That's
eyes open.
crazy.
Right? It's some crazy X-Man type of stuff.
That
So
is.
they
Uh,
had that, and they had the going to my eye. They sedated it. They numbed it.
oof.
I felt like the pulling, but
Mm.
of course, you don't feel the pain. But man, that was the most craziest thing I've ever dealt
Yeah.
with in my life, bro. Like going into my eye, cutting that joint, because you know
Mm,
you hemorrhage. You have hemorrhaging in the eyes
mhm,
with sickle cell, in the vessels. I had a blown vessel, and also a blown vessel, and which caused the hemorrhaging, and
mhm,
which causes the floaters. So
mhm.
if you're dealing with floaters, that comes from a lot of the hemorrhaging that you're dealing with,
Man.
and it causes the floaters. So a lot of us with sickle cell, SS and SC, we
Mm,
deal with a lot of different things, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we deal with a lot of different things, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, man. When you like got older in your life, like say 30 or um even in your early 30s, how prepared were you to manage your sickle cell like as an adult? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Or like do you think you could do it by yourself? You know, like how was that? Because right now I'm 30, my son is 3, and it's just like
Mm,
I'm about to like I'm an adult now. Like, it's hard. My mom is not gonna always be there, it's like I
mm,
have to do it on my own.
mm.
How prepared were you?
I I've always been a realist,
Mhm,
and I made sure I took care of myself. Um, and I count my blessings, like I was saying before. Um, and I'm grateful, that I'm now 46. But the thing is, I had people who also had sickle cell,
mm,
excuse me, who are elders,
mhm,
and they're older than me. Shout out and rest in peace to Squeaky from Illinois, from
mhm.
Alton. She was one of the first people I knew with sickle cell at an older age,
Okay.
and she lived a long, great life. You know what I mean? And I think my elder, she had sickle cell SS, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So that was something for me to look at and say, you know what, I'm gonna be all right. You know, I got to make sure I take care of myself though, because
Mhm.
fam, like as a younger cat, man, you gotta look at it like this. There's people that die every day of things that they put on themselves through
Mhm.
diet. We gotta make sure we take care of ourselves mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Like, yo, when I went to college, bro, let me stop right there. I had
Mhm.
no sickle cell crisis in high school at all, right? Because I wasn't stressed, right? Even in half majority of my middle school, I had no sickle cell crisis. I had a bad sickle cell crisis as a youth, where I was in the hospital for like a month,
Mm.
you know. But after that, I had sickle cell crisis off and on, but it was small,
Mhm.
and I maybe in the hospital for several couple days or whatever. And
Yeah.
now, but I didn't have no major anything. I didn't go to the hospital in high school, but when I
Right.
went to college, it got real.
That's crazy. The same thing. Go
The
ahead. I want to hear it,
stress,
man.
the stress hit me so hard, fam. Them tests, them finals and midterms, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned after college. I was like, yo, I can't stress myself out like that no more.
Yeah.
Because what they say, you learn off your experience.
Mhm.
Your failures or your tribulations is nothing but lessons.
Mhm.
You got to take those lessons, bro. Take your L's, take those L's, and use them as lessons, man, and build off of those losses.
Mm.
And whatever you seen, you go back and you check, okay, what did I do? I did this, that, and the other. Okay, I'm not going to do that no more. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut that out, whatever. And, I'm a level up from that. And
Right.
that's what helped me with dealing with sickle cell at an older age, because the older you get, you mentally mature also. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? When you young, you're like, you're rebellious. You feel like, I could do whatever. I could do this. I remember just going to work, bro, and just having a
Mhm.
sickle cell crisis, bounce back and be at work in 48 hours.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But I was going too hard.
Yeah.
I was young, but I was going too hard. I had all the energy. My immune system was stronger than it would be in my
Mhm.
40s. So just to pause right there, I used to work for the street department
Oh, wow.
in Illinois. I used to plow snow.
Whew.
Yeah. I used to, but the thing is my father knew that. My father knew I got sickle cell, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Here's the thing." Before I just want to pause right there.
Yeah.
What gave me the resilience of what I have today?
Mhm.
On your question, my father was like, "Don't you ever use sickle cell as a crutch."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Damn, what do you mean?" He's like, "Nah, man, you can't use that as a crutch. For first of all, you already black in America. You know what I mean? You already got a lot of obstacles against you. So you cannot use sickle cell as a crutch. Don't be a victim, right? Don't be playing victim. And try your best. I know it's hard to say it without experience, but try your best and build up your resilience and work ethic." And he had me. He knew a couple people where I was able to work in the street department. I worked 2 summers as a helper, and
Mhm.
I was going after it. I was killing it, and they hired me full time after 2 summers. And they was like, "Man, he go hard." They was calling me Mighty Mouse because I was the smallest dude on the crew,
Yeah.
but I was outworking a lot of cats, and it was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, he Mighty Mouse, he go hard." But looking back at that, because I had to eventually leave from there after about 4 or 5 years because of my sickle cell, but I built up resilience because of that. I put myself through a work ethic to help build up my strength.
Mhm.
Where I have, how would you say, a form of self value,
Mhm.
to where I wasn't a woe is me type of person. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? What you see a lot online, like, from Facebook to TikTok, you see a lot of trauma bonding, bro.
Yeah.
This woe is me situation where it's like, no, we got to get out of that. Sickle cell SS and SC. We got to have some resilience, man. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But yes, there's people that go through it that to where they in the hospital every other month, if every month, every other week. And
Yep.
hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Mhm.
But for those who can manage that, we can be a great example to help motivate people. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
everything is mental.
Yeah.
Because, there would be times where I would think about it. It's like, man, the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And I end up in the hospital.
Bro,
I was,
that's
I would end
crazy.
up in the hospital. And I'd be like, man, yeah, the hospital. I see somebody in the hospital. I think about the hospital.
And
I was
you
like, oh
there.
man, you know what I mean? I end up with
Yeah.
the IV, but I'll be okay. If I
Mhm.
get an IV, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? And I end up in the hospital the next week, bro.
It's wow.
Everything is mental. Yes, we got sickle cell, but we can make it better if we have
Mhm.
more mental like strength,
Yeah.
more resilience, go through some things. A lot of us we got to go through some things to appreciate things. They say people who are privileged,
Mhm.
they go through a little struggle and they fall apart because they never went through nothing. We go through stuff all the time, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of us never like say, you know what? Let me at least try to make some things work. And let me
Right.
try. Some
Yeah.
of us, they don't have the right people around them where they don't even
Mhm.
try. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And they wallow in their misery. And you don't want to be that type of individual.
Yeah.
And it's sad, bro. I can't judge nobody. I'm
Mhm.
not God. I can't say anything about another individual. I can't judge a person who may be going through that because I've never lived their life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm just trying to drop a jewel for all of my warriors going through something that, yo, at least try to put in the effort,
Yeah.
um, try to, work things out.
Mhm.
Uh, be strong as you can, but a
Yeah.
lot of times it's a mental thing too.
Yeah. At least
It's
try. At least try.
you gotta at least try,
Yeah, at
because when
least
you
try.
give up, it's a
Yeah.
wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah. You never know. You never know. And if you do, lose or what that like how you said earlier, bro, that's a lesson learned. Now
Hmm.
take that lesson learned and try again. Get
Yeah.
back up, try again,
Yep.
lesson
And keep
learned.
getting up.
So
As long as you, fam, as long as you keep getting up, as
that's all
long
that
as you
matters.
keep getting out that hospital, bro,
So my mama say,
that's a
man, yep.
blessing, bro. That's that, man. There be times where I think I'm not getting out the hospital, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure
Yeah.
all of us sickle cell warriors know we went
Mm-hmm.
through a dark, deep time to where we feel like, yo, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is bad. Like, this pain is crazy. I had crisis where my whole body is jacked up. My whole body hurts. Not just my leg, my arm, no, my whole body.
Yeah.
They said, "What's wrong with you, man?" From my neck down hurts. From
Mm-hmm.
my neck down, you don't
And,
understand that,
no.
but I'm dealing with that.
Yeah.
And those are the crises where it really changes your whole mindset when you come out them
Literally.
joints, man.
Literally changes your whole
Where it's
mindset.
like, yo, now I understand. Now I understand why they
Yeah.
call us warriors.
Phew.
Now,
Woo.
now I get it.
Yeah.
Because we go through the obstacles of gods.
Yeah. And
We
sometimes I
go
be
through the
thinking, man, it's not
obstacles of
fair, bro.
gods.
I swear I think it's not
It
fair. But it's who am I to say it's not fair, man? Maybe I need to go through this, you know? So
and
I'm
that's
done
why
saying that.
I always said sickle cell is a low-key blessing, bro.
Low key.
Because I told my wife that several times, like, sickle cell is a low-key blessing for me, because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be humble.
Mm.
I wouldn't be humble. I wouldn't appreciate every little thing that I get. It was a
Mm-hmm.
blessing for me, because I appreciate I appreciate my health. I
Yeah.
appreciate living. I appreciate waking up every day, man. I appreciate not being in pain. Like, bro, I'm
Yeah.
not actually really in bad pain today, and I'm grateful.
Big
You know what
smile
I'm
on your
saying?
face.
Big old smile on my face. I say it all the time. I used to rap, right?
Okay.
And I talked about it. Like, sickle cell was in many of my lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why one of my favorite rappers was Prodigy from Mobb Deep,
Rest in
you know,
peace,
because he
Prodigy.
had rest in peace Prodigy, and I always looked at that like, yo, he understands how real it is, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it made him resilient also. You know what I'm saying? We was already we went through the battles, bro,
Yeah.
and we was able to appreciate it. Where it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I could talk about this to help
Yeah.
motivate people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Phew, I don't want to keep it too long. Do you mind
No
if I
doubt.
ask you a few more questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does a good day versus a bad day with sickle cell look like for you?
A good day.
First a
I'm
bad
actually
day.
having a pretty decent good day right now.
Okay.
Uh, where I don't wake up aching everywhere.
Phew.
And it's great because I know there's a cold front that we, about to deal with the whole nation right now, with this winter front
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it was going to hit me soon. I felt my arm ache a little bit today, but it went
Yeah.
away after a while. But
I'm thinking
these are
about going
days
to the
where
ER myself, man.
what's up?
I'm sorry. I just no. I'm sorry. I say I'm thinking about heading to the big house myself, man, because I'm feeling it in my body, and I only
Yeah,
got a few
man, no
more
cold
medicines
fronts,
left.
bro. Like, you do what you gotta do, bro. All blessings and
Yeah,
prayers to you, man. Like, for real,
appreciate it.
because
But go
like,
ahead.
yo, we about
Mhm.
to deal with a serious winter front.
Yeah.
And I just made a post about that. And
Mm-hmm.
a good day is where you wake up and you don't feel too bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And with sickle cell, once again, we appreciate the little things. So we wake up feeling pretty decent. It's not a perfect day,
Right.
but it's a decent day and we appreciate it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then there's days where you wake up like my back. Usually it's like in the middle of the night. My wife
Mm-hmm.
knows right away. It's like, you have pain, don't you?
Mm.
I'm like, and I be trying to play it off like, nah, I'm all
Mm-hmm.
right. I'm gonna work through it. I'm gonna work through it. And
She
she be
know
like,
you.
nah, let's go to the hospital. I
That's
don't even
and
want
oh
you.
my gosh, bro.
I
She
don't
know
even
you.
want you to. She know me. That's why my wife is everything, bro. Like she's the only one that fully understand besides my mother and father and my sister. Like my wife is real, bro. Like you gotta
Mm,
find one of those in your life, man,
shout out
that
to your
really
wife.
appreciates you and understand like your situations, your tribulations, but at the same time, your value of what you can
Mm,
put into them, pour into them too, to make them
mm-hmm,
a better person. So they're willing to, balance that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's days where I wake up where I know right off the bat
mm,
it's just gonna be bad. You know what I'm saying? And, my back feel like I said before, lightning striking all up and down my back, where
mm,
it's so painful to where you just clench up. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, take me to the ER immediately. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But and as the question, there's a big contrast to that. A lot of people don't have that big of a contrast when it comes to their pains that they may have. But with sickle cell, bro, you know a
Mm-hmm.
good day from a bad day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like night
Yeah.
and day, man.
It is. And I'm glad you said that about your wife. That leads me to my one of my last questions. Do you find it hard dating with sickle cell? Like,
Oh
even when you were
man,
younger,
bro.
did you go through relationships and people couldn't, understand it? Did your wife
Oh,
understand it, or?
bro. For all my people, male and female, you gonna find out if that's that one when you
Hmm.
get sick. When you get
Yes.
sick, if they there for you. If they're there for you. My wife was rocking with me, you know what I mean? She was there. She stayed in the hospital, she made sure I was okay. She cared, bro.
Yeah.
And then, I dated some women before that. I ain't gonna call no names. But there were women without a dated, right? Where I got sick and they was like nowhere to be found. They go ghost on me.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
like, yo, man, that's crazy. You was, you know, saying all this stuff, showing me all this attention till I got sick. And it's like they not built for that. You know what I'm saying? They just not built for that. And
Yeah.
you got a good one when they're with you when you get sick
Yeah.
and they're consistent. Not the first
Consist.
time, but
Yes.
consistently. They're
Yes.
there every single time. And it's
Yes.
like, okay, since you're doing that for me, I got to do a lot for you too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't come across a lot of those types that have that type of empathy that's not
Mm-hmm.
selfish like that. Because, we're dealing with a lot of self centered people nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And before, 'cause I was married, I got divorced and whatnot. I used to like not cuss them out, but like just cuss like at the world because I'm like, man, like I thought she was down for me. You know what I'm saying? I thought she
Mm,
was this and this and this, and my ex-girlfriend this and that. But it's like my mom told me one thing: you can't blame somebody for not wanting to go through that. So
mm,
that's the other side of it that I had to
yeah.
realize. Like, I understand, but at least tell me that. Don't just dip out on me when I get sick. Like, communicate that with me. But I understand that. Hey, what are you most proud of accomplishing while having sickle cell?
Uh, my brand, bro.
That's what I was gonna go to. Okay.
Um,
Tell us about it.
my clothing brand. But before the clothing brand, I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I've been drawing, painting, sketching, photography, various different things. If y'all quite sure you know that by following me, but
Yeah.
I went back home to Illinois over the fall,
Mm-hmm.
right before the fall, and it was for Sickle Cell Association in Illinois, and I presented my design for the contest, and it won. So
Congrats.
everybody, thank you. And everybody in the state of Illinois was wearing my shirt with this design. It was like a
Oh.
a bone colored T-shirt um, from my area, the St. Louis area, all the way up to Chicago. Like thousands were printed and made,
Wow.
and I had to copyright it because it was just that real.
Yeah.
And now I'm pushing this brand
Mm-hmm.
from that design. I got hoodies, I got sweaters, I got all types of different things.
Okay.
But I wanted to educate people. It
Mm-hmm.
shows all the different affirmations, um, uh, educating people on what sickle cell is.
Okay.
You're a walking example of advocating and being educated by others. Other people are being educated and informed by what you wear, because that's what they liked about my design that I presented. It's like, man, it's not just a cool looking design.
Mhm.
You're actually educating people. You're actually, telling people also what people with sickle cell go through. It's not
Mhm.
just educating people. I have personal things in that, to where, they was like, wow, that's personal. And
Mm.
the person that was advocating for me and the Illinois association, she has a daughter that has sickle cell. Shout out to Precious organization. Big shout out to Precious organization in Illinois.
Mhm.
Um, she was vouching for me, and she didn't even know that was my design. She seen the design. It's like, oh, this is real. Like, I love this. And her daughter, she showed it to her daughter. She's like, yo, I love that. Like, that's personal.
Amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
some of the stuff he's saying, only a person with sickle cell would say stuff like that. And it's like, yo,
Right.
that's personal. Like, I love this. So it ended up winning. The council looked over it. They won. And actually, it was, she made a plaque. The woman, uh, Precious mother, I forgot her name, but she
Mhm.
made a plaque,
Mhm.
and she presented the plaque to the hospital of St. Louis. St. Louis, you can see my design at St. Louis, not Herman. I keep thinking Herman. Um,
Mhm.
man, I forgot the name of it. It's Jewish Hospital
Mhm.
of St. Louis. I forgot the name. I went brain dead, but
It's all
you can
good.
see my design at the hospital, at one of the biggest hospitals in St. Louis. They have
Wow.
my design there. Yeah, and it's
And
in the
all the
sickle cell,
affirmations on there, you put it into a fist, right?
all into a fist. All of this stuff is affirmations to the example of what it is all
Okay.
within the fist. Yeah.
And you have crew necks, or what all kind of pieces do
I
you
have
have?
hoodies. I got
Mm.
t-shirts. I
Okay.
got blankets. I got a whole bunch of different stuff. You
Got
can go to
blankets.
my store. There's various different links on all of my social medias that you can go to check
Okay.
them out.
I'm gonna put them down here and when I edit it. Now, what is the name of your clothing brand?
Right now, I just going off of Sickle Cell Warrior clothing,
Okay.
Sickle Cell Warrior apparel.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I sell like from mugs, coffee mugs to like you were sipping on,
Mhm.
coffee mugs to rugs to blankets to even
Wow.
phone chargers.
Oh wow.
I
So
got
you
everything
okay.
that you can think of almost to represent sickle cell, because I didn't want to just do clothing. I wanted to do everything you can think of to where,
Mhm.
you represent that in every way, shape, or form. And
Okay.
just bringing more awareness, bro. Like, because
Sorry.
people need to know what this is. There's a lot of black folks walking around right now that don't know
Yeah.
nothing about sickle cell, and it's like,
Right.
you walking around with the trait, and you might procreate with another person with the trait and don't even realize it, and now your child got sickle cell.
That easy.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? And you not educated on this stuff, man. We gotta know what we dealing with. You know what I'm
So I
saying?
yes, yep. So I did this, man. It's all the main reason. Yes. Wow, man. Yeah, phone chargers and rugs. Hey man, we're gonna have
I
to
got yeah,
I
yeah. I
want
got
a mug,
everything,
man. I'm
man.
about to send you one of my
Yeah.
mugs for one of your mugs and
No doubt. We'll trade. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I see your clothing brand every time I go on TikTok, bro. Like, I'm in the process of getting a lot of, lawyer stuff done for my son. But
Mm,
after I do that, I'm gonna definitely, cop something, man. I really want to support.
appreciate
Um,
that.
and
Same to you too, bro. I
of
need to get some
course,
of that for the podcast, man. Push that podcast, bro.
I got you, bro. I
Definitely.
got you.
Definitely. Because
Um,
I love what you're doing, man. I love the platform that you going through, and you have right there. And there was times like you got sick, but I was
yeah.
like, man, that's my warrior, bro. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not canceling this. This is my guy, and I know what you're going
Straight.
through.
Yeah.
I know what you're going through. So I was like, man, I'm giving
Yeah.
plenty of chances because I know what you're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
willing to, put this word out there and support your platform, man, for real.
Appreciate it, man. I was nervous he's gonna cancel, man. I was like, dang, man, he
Nah,
probably
man, I
gone.
can't
God
do
dang.
that, bro. You a warrior, fam, and you not, and I can tell you not a messy type of dude. You
Nah,
know what I'm
man.
saying? So I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, man, I gotta look out for my guy. You
Appreciate that,
know?
man. I really do appreciate that. I have so many other questions. I want to. Maybe we can do a part two about
Yeah, we
like
can do
the,
part two,
uh,
bro. You know,
um,
we can
but
definitely do
yeah,
that.
the last question I'm gonna end on. I know you got your babies to look after. Last question, big bro. If you came across a younger guy, a younger warrior with sickle cell,
Mm.
not even 10, man, what some advice would you give to him?
Mm, man, you could still be a regular person. You could still live long, man.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Cause when I was a little dude, I thought I was really different. I couldn't go swimming. I
Hmm.
couldn't enjoy the certain things other kids can do. You know, being in Illinois,
Sports.
I wanted to play. I played in the snow, yeah, but I had to hurry up and get home and jump
Hmm.
in the shower, hot shower at that. Make sure I took all my wet clothes off before I got in the house. And, you know, that's
Same.
the type of stuff that I would tell them, like, yo, man, just, you know, be very proactive and make sure you know what you're dealing with and you can live just as long as anybody else, man.
Yes.
You don't beat yourself up, bro.
Uh,
You know, don't beat yourself up, man, because a lot of us warriors, man, we have a lot of mental health we got to deal with. People don't realize how much how many mental
mhm,
tribulations we deal with. We were born into a situation where we look at life as something that we may not fully experience.
mhm,
We may not live long, you know, and we
mhm.
see it's sad because we see a lot of our peers with who are warriors pass.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that right there adds on to the
Yeah.
low expectations of a quality living. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And that's something that I would tell a young cat, male or female, like, yo, be proactive.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I talk about is being proactive and just
Hmm.
making sure you do the right things, do the things you should do, things you should not do, don't do it, eat the right way, live right, and you can
Hmm.
be, you know, live the regular life like anybody else can, you know. But
Yeah.
just make sure you take care of yourself. You gotta do a little extra, but hey, you
Hmm.
be all right. You be all
Yes,
right.
sir. Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't come quick. Like I'm 30
No,
and
it
I'm
don't.
just now.
It's not easy. It's not
No.
easy.
Yeah. At all. At all, man. At all. Wow, man. I didn't even touch on the mental health part, man. I have another segment I wanted to do. I have so many
Yeah.
other questions I
Hey,
wrote
like I
down.
said, we could do the
But
part two, bro.
yes, man, please. I
Yeah,
really
we could definitely
appreciate.
do the part two.
Okay, cool, cool. I really appreciate you coming on, Jovan, man. You opened my eyes to a lot. This is why I created this podcast to help others, not even the youth, like the older folks who've been through it. Y'all can teach us
Indeed.
something. We gotta learn from y'all. Y'all been through it before.
Mm,
So and it's our job to teach the younger ones. So, man, I just
yeah.
really appreciate you for coming on and even being interested in
Mm.
doing this, man.
It's real. Appreciate you, family, for real.
Of course, of course.
Appreciate you
And
for
you
real.
mind if I put the link of your clothing
Yeah,
brand
go
and all
ahead and
the
lock that in.
pictures and
Yeah.
okay.
I'm all for it, man. You know, because that brings awareness for everybody, the whole community. You
Yes,
know, the whole
sir.
warrior community, man. And I didn't want to, do this just because I got a clothing brand. Nah, I'm doing this because
Yeah.
when I even thought about doing a clothing brand is when I had a
Hmm.
really bad crisis.
Hmm.
And I came out that crisis and I was like, yo, man, I got to do something. I got to
Yeah.
advocate, and one person was like, man, you're so well spoken. You need to be an advocate, man. You used to teach and blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah.
man, we need you as an advocate. And I was like, yeah, that's cool and all of that. But what can I do to magnify it,
Right. Right.
to
Right.
people that don't even know me like that, but I can still put in that,
That
extra
work.
effort of bringing awareness. So that's when I was like, I just don't want to do just a clothing line where it look cool. I want to
Yeah.
do a clothing line that educates people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
I
what's up.
appreciate that. Yeah, man. And you do poetry as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Hey, man, but listen, like I said, thank you for everything. And is there anything else you want to let the sickle cell community know, or just get off your chest, or anything before we end this?
Oh man, bro, like health is wealth, man.
Mhm.
Health is wealth. Like health is wealth. Like for my people with sickle cell, bro, like they'll replace you in a second at a job. Right?
Say that, but man.
They'll replace you in a second at a job, man. You know what I'm saying? I worked my whole life since I was like almost illegal to work. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
worked my whole life, man. And the older I got, the more I realized that they'll replace you in a second. You'd be
yeah,
folded over dead dang there in the hospital, and they'll replace you. So use your time off to take care of yourself.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Use
yeah,
every little part of sick time that you can. Don't try not to overdo it because you got to stretch that out.
yeah,
Quite sure they got a certain amount per year. But
yeah.
yo, man, don't be trying to go the extra route for no
Hmm.
corporation that don't care about you. Man, take care of yourself, man. And when you do your thing, is another thing. When you working and you show respect to your colleagues, you show respect to your staff, they gonna advocate for you, and they
Yeah.
gonna be like, man, cause like the jobs that I worked at as a teacher, it was like, man, Mr. Wallace, call off,
Hmm.
cause we appreciate you. The kids
Yeah.
love you. They need you. They need you.
That's
You're a
good.
good male figure at the school.
Yeah.
Nah, man, call up. Don't even, if you come up here tomorrow, I'm telling you to, I'm gonna turn you around and say, go home.
Yeah. That's good,
Because we
man. That's
want you
good.
in your best, your best self. So,
Yeah.
yo, man, do what you got to do at your job, man. Represent, and but at the
Hmm.
same time, put health first, bro.
Health
Health
first.
first. All right.
Yes.
That's why I want to leave with everybody. Health is wealth, man.
Yes. Yeah. Stay hydrated.
And stay hydrated at
Yeah,
all
man.
times, man.
Facts.
Throw some a
Facts.
little electrolyte powder in that joint if you got to, huh?
Right, right, right. Okay, cool, man. But Jovan, hey, man, seriously, it means a lot for you to come on.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you.